Hello everyone, and welcome back to another Mirror Dungeon solo video. In today's episode, we'll be performing a deep cleaning with Edgar family Butler Ishmael. She's fairly interesting, serving as a mix of poise, sinking, and haste. All of her skills gain extra coin power so long as she's fast, which is very easy to accomplish. When it comes to her poise generation, I would say she's below average. Not that that means she's completely useless in that regard, but with her only source of poise count being neutral, when she crits on every coin, she will inevitably end up destroying her own stack. It won't ever happen too quickly, but it is unavoidable. Her sinking, though, is at the very least semi-decent. Her only source of sinking count is on her skill 3, and while it is at least neutral, she's entirely negative otherwise. However, her sinking potency is actually quite good. Every one of her skills inflicts a decent amount, and if she crits, she inflicts even more thanks to her passive. All around, she's a fairly solid sinking identity, and a good substitute for Muller Boatworks Ishmael if you don't have her for whatever reason. To start the run off, we take Red Order and Melted Spring and pick the Forgotten for the first floor. We do find Eclipse of Scarlet Moths before making it to the boss against G-Corp. G-Corp can prove to be quite a challenge for us as we are weak to pierce damage. They manage to drop us quite low on health, but by targeting an evade into an enemy we defeat, the evade becomes unopposed and we can dodge everything that we can't clash with. We take Blue Zippo Lighter for our reward and head into Falling Flowers for the next floor. Here we buy Imposed Weight, Endorphin Kit, and Nebulizer, while also finding Pendant of Nostalgia before making it to the boss against the Drifting Fox. This time the Fox doesn't pose too much of a threat. Most of his attacks can be dodged relatively easily except for his Gluttony attack, which if it rolls both heads can end up beating us. As long as the Fox doesn't attack with that skill first though, you're pretty much fine, as even if it beats your evade on the first turn, it won't be enough damage to actually stagger. A little bit of luck is needed on the second turn as he uses 3 of these skills, though the rest of the fight is pretty easy as long as you get a little bit lucky with your clashes when low on sanity. We take the Kaleidoscope for our reward and head into Emotional Subservience for the next floor. Nothing really happens here, and before long we make it to the boss against the Drenched Gosipium. Wow, we got this guy in 3 videos back to back. Crazy, huh? Anyway, this time it's the easiest of them all. Just by nature of having an evade, it completely trivializes his entire gimmick. After all, you can't gain any bleed if you don't take any damage. The one and only exception is his skill Flourishing Gossipium. This skill is capable of rolling a 15, which is more than enough to beat our evade. With it also being on the Gossipium's first skill slot, we have to dodge it first before everything else, and thus turning the fight into a 50-50 for whether or not we can actually win. Clashing instead doesn't help either, as we essentially have the same odds to evade it. The first turn he uses it, I do push my luck and manage to beat it in a normal clash, but the second time I don't want to deal with the RNG and opt to simply use an ego instead. It's not long after for us to trim the hedges, as the flower is weak to slash damage. We take Clear Mirror Calm Water for our reward and receive Skeletal Crumbs as a bonus before heading into the Evil Defining for the next floor. Here we buy the Harpoon Prosthetic Leg, Cigarette Holder, Phantom Pain, Devil's Share, and an extra skill 3 while also fusing Midwinter Nightmare before heading into the boss against Ahab. On the first turn of the fight, Ahab's Weight of Guilt skill is too powerful for us to beat or evade, forcing us to use an ego, else we'd be staggered on the first turn. There's nothing else to really talk about for the rest of the fight though. Clear Mirror Calm Waters is just so absurdly powerful that I'm considering putting it in my banned ego gift list along with Thrill and Glimpse of Flames. We take Broken Compass for our reward and head into the Unchanging for the final floor. Here we buy Bloody Gadget and Distant Star while also finding Artistic Sense and fusing both Grandeur as well as the Guiding Gas Lamp before heading into the final boss against Farm Watch. Just like with Ahab, there's not much to talk about here. Our damage output is absolutely ridiculous at this point. No boss can survive more than a couple of turns against us. The only thing really worth mentioning is that this fight is one of the few that 100% requires an evade in order to beat. Dong Reng's gimmick is to put you in a special state when you have more than 5 seeds, and the only way to avoid that is to dodge every attack. I could have beaten him a turn earlier than I did if I wasn't absolutely terrified of the 5% and chose to use 2 evades every turn.
사실 이런 보모 부실은 뭔지를 모르겠어요. 사실 이런 보모 부실은 먼지를 떨어내줘. 이만하면 순환해줘. 먼지를 떨어내줘. 결국은 원기가 무너져줘.
맞아. 살살해. 그러다 뼈라도 부서지면 살 속에서 뼈가 씹힐 거라고. 와, 성공했어.
먼지를 떨어내줘. 결국은 이렇게 떨어지죠. 먼지 한 톨 남지 않은 완벽한 청소였어요. 주인님은 간밤에 뭐가 다녀갔는지도 모르실 테죠.
And that's how I soloed Mirror Dungeon 4 hard using only Butler Ishmael. She's fairly mediocre from almost every standpoint. Not bad, but certainly outclassed in multiple regards by Ishmael's other identities. Anyway, that's it for me. Like and subscribe to not miss next time where we'll be using this identity. Goodbye!